Hey fairies, welcome welcome back to my channel. I refuse to discriminate, and I hope y'all keeping it cool, kind, and classy today. So today, so the energy just feels like it's purging itself. It feels like it's purging itself, and it also feels like there's not a whole lot I could say without just diving right in, okay? I think we just gonna dive right in. I really just feel like I'm speechless. Because I feel like everything is beginning to speak for itself. I feel like not only your energy is beginning to speak for itself, but I feel like others' energy has been in the active process of speaking for itself. And because of this, you're kind of sitting back. And this is that energy that I've spoken about this in other videos. You're just sitting back and you're like, yeah, you know what? I will take another margarita because I earned it, okay? And not just about earning it. It's not just about earning it, and I'm really heavy on that because this divinity and abundance is our birthright. So that's just what it is. But if anybody earned it, right, that's collective. Let's be real. Let's be real. And let the cards fall where they may, okay? So we're going to just start it out. We're going to just start it out by cutting it. You are no longer surrounding yourself with people who expect you to do everything for them. And it's not just about expecting them to do everything for you. It's about at least trying to earn tirelessly a shred of reciprocation. And you're not getting it. So you finally said, yeah, I'm gonna have to do something about that. I'm gonna have to step back a little bit and analyze my surroundings and analyze the people that are within those surroundings. And if I am not happy here in about a week, I'll give myself some space. If I'm not happy here in about a week, I'm just gonna stop fighting and move with myself. I'm gonna stop fighting and allow my strength to do its thing. And within this strength, you have found vulnerability because you have been so strong to establish yourself that you have found a sense of yourself that is emotional and is weary with their own gifts and is very insistent on what they have to offer. And so it motherfucking is. So it motherfucking is. Okay? Because this is no longer about earning. We're done with that. Collective, it's over. It's over. This is no longer about earning through how do I say this? I might have to clarify this one. Okay. Yeah, I want to clarify. I kind of have a sense of what's going on, but I want to clarify just to make sure. Okay. So you're going to have to work with me a little bit here. I might have to take it a little slow sometimes. And that's exactly what it's about. That's exactly what it's about, isn't it? Okay, yeah. So, okay, that makes sense. So, basically, you went from a logical mindset and you went from maintaining this idea of yourself that has to be like to the grindstone every day. I wake up and grind type stuff. You went from that to, okay, well, let me let go and let me slow down. And then you went from let me slow down and let go to just literally trying to do nothing. Because I'm so busy trying to maintain this sanity, so busy trying to establish myself through evil eye and projections and worry and anxiety and stress. And you went from the logical aspect to just slowing down, and now it's like you're at this point where you're waiting for your blessings through two different extremes. Confirmation. You're trying to attract your blessings through two different total extremes of either all in or all out, and I can't take it anymore. So I believe, okay, we're going to clear the spread because it's getting a little overwhelming. I really am trying to not do too much. Trying to not do too much because it's so easy to get carried away with my tarot, and then next thing you know, I got the full deck read. And I've done it. It was a beautiful reading. It was a really amazing reading, and it was a really amazing experience for myself. But when I first started, the full deck reading video that I did, when I first started that, I was expectant of a few different categories of what's going on. Not necessarily the whole thing. But anyway, my point is that literally, yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the energy is just seeing yourself and seeing that you've done enough and you really can't do anything else, but having the will to keep going. Because it's so easy to just stop and say, I've tried everything. You've tried two extremes of one thing, is what you have tried. But you have not allowed yourself space to be heard. You have not allowed yourself space to be seen. You have not allowed yourself space to be, I'm hearing feared, honestly. I really was going to try to brisk over it, but I'm hearing be feared. You spent so long being afraid. You spent so long being intimidated. You spent so long trying to hide yourself and match up to the frequency that others are at. But it was impossible because they were below you. You could not physically match up to a lower frequency because you were not meant to be there. You were not meant to be with these people who are so belittled within themselves that they cannot see the forest beyond the trees, I think is the word. I think the clearing beyond the trees, something like that. But they basically can just not stop to smell the roses. So you were trying to go so fast to keep up with these people, but inside they were that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing like a crane that's like slowly falling to pieces. It's slowly like breaking down. That's what I'm seeing. Yeah, you're working with what you had this whole time. You're working with these two cups that you have been, and I'm just like pulling off the bag. I'm just whatever I'm told to take out, that's what I'm taking out. So you've been working with these two cups, and you're saying, damn, I spent so many cups on trying to erase the truth. I spent so many cups on trying to help and fix and be there for everybody. And I spent so many cups trying to fix and change myself to be loved. But I'm just here to remind you that as soon as you start, trying to be somebody that others need, you're going to miss out on yourself. You're going to miss out on yourself. And you're finally coming into the present. So welcome back. Welcome back. Because it was not easy to get here. And I know that's right. It was not easy to get here because I feel the need to talk about this, but you've definitely had people in your life that have tried to convince you continuously that they would be there for you and that they would help you and that they would be there to support you when all that they did was say that and then go do something else. All that they did was pretend and play dress up with you, but they didn't actually insist the part. So not only, and life is essentially dress up, but not only have you dressed up, but you said, I'm the princess, I'm royalty, I'm this, I'm that. And you've taken all of the actions that you can in order to prove that to yourself. And I feel that you got a little confused along the way, trying to prove to where you came from that you are still humble, that you are still able to go back whenever that you want, and then, get along with the people that you came from. And impress them. It's just like this like gritty kind of energy, because it's like you've spent so long finding this new version of yourself, but the people that made you feel so lost in the first place want you to just find yourself and then bring it back to them so that they can leech off of it. That's what I'm getting. They literally sent you out into the wild and threw you to the wolves so that you could survive it, come up, resist, and thrive, and then come back and thrive for them. Not thrive with. Don't get it twisted. See, this is the part where collective has to be very discerning. Because if you go back to anybody that ever made you feel lost, anybody that ever made you feel less than, anybody that ever made you feel like you don't deserve yourself, then these are the same people who want to feed off of your thriving. And I feel that that's, okay, yeah, I feel the need to heavily talk about this. I feel that is a huge aspect of why collective is holding itself back. Because we know in our souls that at the end of the day, when we have done everything that we can in order to thrive and become a better version of ourselves, it is that much more space that people will be able to try to drain from, try to tap a reservoir for, and try to siphon. As simple as it is, just the simplest term I can think of, just siphon off of it. I'm gonna cut the deck. Yes, of course. And of course. And of course. And of course. But of course. But of course. Ooh, I'm getting really pretty cards here. I'm getting really pretty. But we're gonna go slow. So, in this rock and a hard place space you have been landed in, you were expected to become either a worse version of yourself that would run back to the people that you knew and try to apologize once again, or you would become a bigger version of the person that was placed here initially, and you would run back to them and say, I figured it out. And then you would share it with them. So they're essentially using you as, I don't know the word for this, but they're essentially using you as a map, if you will. There's another word for it. There's there's cargo. There's precious cargo. They literally see you as an object, and that's the best way that I can say it. You're an object to these people. So no matter what these people say to you, when you finally are fully synchronized within yourself and they see that and they try to get you to come back, don't fall into it. Don't fall into it, because it is all about moving on from where you were initially placed. Not, confirmation. Not going into where you thrive and then going back. Okay, that's not what this is about, because there's nothing over here. There's nothing over here. You can't come back here. So when these people come in and they say, I always loved you, you always meant so much to me, I really feel like we can have something beautiful together, you have to be able to understand, and this is where that deciphering comes into, is because if you sit with this person and you say, you know what, I really see where you're coming from, and I still love you, and I want to see what we can do about that. then you're automatically going to end up right back in the same space. And I want to be really clear about this, because these people made you feel that you had to build walls in order to avoid external love, when the truth is that fuck all this. You should never have had to go through that in the first place. Never. Like, this is the story that you keep coming back to. Whenever you lose your baseline, you keep coming back to, well, I was thrown into a really difficult position and I have to come up, or else I might die. Like, I don't know if I can survive this. Either you feel like you're incapable of getting there, or you feel like you have to go back, or you feel like somebody's trying to pull you back, or you feel like no matter what you do, they're always gonna own you, so why does it matter? Wow, that felt really significant. Yeah, wow, let's go off of that. Let's talk about that a little bit. Trying to take this slow, but not too slow. So yeah, I mean, when I cover a topic and I feel something from it, I continuously get the same cards. When I cover a topic regarding heartbreak, typically, is what it usually is, I'll skim, and then I'll keep getting the same cards. And I feel just like I'm slowing down a little bit. Yeah, I feel like I'm falling out a little bit as I talk about it, because like every time that I talk about this with the lovers on the top, I feel like I'm learning this stuff with you guys. It's not just me coming in and saying, you better do this and there's that, and you better know better. I don't know these things until I say them. I'm here to channel. I'm here to educate, but I'm not here I'm not really here to teach. I'm here to love. And then teaching is just an extra bonus if it happens that way. But we got a little spread here, y'all. Oh, okay. Yeah, falling out. It's funny because when I first saw this card, it was reversed, and then I picked it up and it went bloop, it fell that way. So, I mean, if that don't tell you something about the energy, then girl, what the if is gonna tell you about this energy? Okay, so we got a lot going on here. One sec. There's a lot of energy here. I want to go as slow as I can without brewing stagnance. But I guess, like, you're kind of born from stagnance. Okay, just want to make sure. You're kind of born from stagnance in a sense. And this relates back to that blockage of external love, of internal self. And you really kind of took that perspective and you tried to go on with it when you weren't getting anywhere. You continuously weren't getting anywhere. Oh, that was upside down. You continuously weren't getting anywhere, and you were becoming this version of yourself that didn't resonate with you, and it didn't reign true. And so when you tried to take off with this version of you into your new life, you kept ending up right back at the shoreline. And then you continuously were looking out at the water and saying, there's so much here for me. Why am I unable to pursue it? Why am I unable to secure it? So you started seeing the ocean that you are looking out at as your internal self. As your internal self. So then at some point, you started seeing physical matter as irrelevant. You started seeing everything that was outside of you as irrelevant. And because of this, you became the most important thing in your life. This is interesting. I'm getting some, yeah, and I just picked this up reversed. I won't even flip it around because I'm not trying to mess with the flow. So, after establishing that yourself is not all that you need, you fell out of synchronicity with that reality. And this left you feeling cold and lonely all over again. This put you in the exact same place at the shoreline, but it made you feel like you didn't have anything, and it almost made you feel like you didn't have yourself as well, because you really started associating with being the only thing that matters to yourself. You got so self-loving, and this is not even a horrible thing, but it did trip you up a little bit. You got so self-loving within yourself that you like, what's that thing that royal people do? They like wave people away when they're done. When they're done with them. You like see, like, I need to like get back into words or something. I read, but like, it's so hard sometimes. It's so hard sometimes because I just feel like you're more of a hands-on and more of an overall emotional person. And this correlates to it because you felt that there would, this deeply correlates to it because you felt like there would be nobody that was going to be able to reciprocate and match that energy of just being within yourself and being happy within yourself and having yourself and really being deep and emotional and vulnerable within yourself. You genuinely saw your being as the only one you knew that could hold this. So you disregarded, that's the word I'm looking for, you disregarded everybody around you because you just expected them to be like everybody else. And I don't blame you because wherever you are right now, especially if you resonate with my videos, you've probably had a lot of people, if not a majority of people in your life, make you feel that you're just going to be a diamond in the rough for the rest of your life, and that's what you are, and you have to accept that. So you did. So you did accept that. Because every time you tell somebody about your dreams, you get disregarded yourself. Every time you tell somebody about your life, every time you tell somebody about what you want and what you desire and who you are, you get looked at like you're telling a joke, a bad joke. You get looked at like you're telling a bad joke. So this is so beautiful because this energy of finally disregarding, looking to yourself as not the highest power, but a person that you know to reign true to what they need and stick with it and baseline off of it and keep coming back to it. You kept seeing it as this is it. I really only have myself because everybody thinks I'm a fucking joke. So now that you finally have let go of that, you are crawling. I'm hearing crawling. You are really on your last leg and your body is breaking down And not just that, but your life is breaking down into a whole different version, into a whole different reality. And I'm not even going to say of itself, because the reality you have been living has been misleading you and misguiding you, and you're living a physical embodiment of a projection, is exactly what I'm getting here. And because you are finally crawling and you're saying, that's not true, that's not true, that's not my life, that's not who I am, you're going to crawl right into synchronization. Ooh. So beautiful. That's so, yeah. That's so calming. That's so calming. Just want to sit here now. I'm really proud of you for whatever it's worth. I know you don't know me and I don't know you, but if you've made it this far, it's a big deal. And it's really hard to sit with yourself and say, you know what, I have truly normalized this idea of pain and hurt and freezing and burning for desires and longing that I just kind of fell out with myself. And now you're finally coming back into that. So you're finally coming back into love. You're coming back into the frequency of love. You have to be loved before you receive love. That's just what it is. You can be sad, you can be hurt, you can be in pain, but you have to be loved. So keep flowing. Keep going and keep flowing, okay? And with all of this breaking, will finally come rebuilding when you come into the right people. When you come into contact with the right people, instead of asking for help from the wrong people, when you finally come into synchronization with the right people, you're not going to have to ask anymore. It's just going to happen.